Hello, everyone watching the Ruud Talk video podcast. We are back together for episode 5. It's only Barbara and I today, so I'm excited for this one. It's going to be a good one, hopefully, and it's an exciting week. We are in London, Barbara, and beginning of last, what should we say, week of Roger's career, very sadly. But I think it will be, in a way, exciting way for him to end his career here in London in O2, where he has won many times and had a lot of great memories. And also, of course, Wimbledon is not too far away.
You should take over my job.
Yeah.
Well done. Nice introduction. Well, thank you so much for joining us once again for this Ruud Talk. It's always very exciting, and we always talk way too long because there's so many topics to cover. Today we're going to try to do it, like intense, and we try to cover everything in a shorter time. All right. So let's start first, a little bit of what you've achieved this year. If somebody at the beginning of the year would have told you, Casper, you're going to be in the finals of the French and you're going to be in the finals of the US Open, and on top of that, you're going to be number 2 in the world, what would you have said? Would you just said, yeah, sure, I'm going to do this?
I would probably laugh a little bit because it wouldn't seem too realistic. So I would sort of laugh and think of it as a joke. But at the same time, I would say, where's the contract? I'm happy to sign if you give me the offer. So, that's it's been going very well. And of course, it's, things have been going my favor, and the way things have played out this year. The ranking, of course, is a little bit different than what it would maybe have been with the points and everything for Wimbledon. So it is a little different, and it's not I think fans around the world are used to seeing top guys having 10,000 points or more, but I think as more and more younger players are coming, I think we will see closer sort of gap between each other, and of course Alcaraz is at the top at the moment, but it's not an incredible amount down to me and then down to number 3 and 4. It's much closer these days. So I think that will be something tennis fans need to be a little bit more prepared for in the future or in the coming years.
Who is there?
Yeah, it's Maria, my girlfriend. She's just coming back from, I think, some shopping in London. So
hi, Maria. I hope you've done some major damage. It's good shopping.
Yeah, I did.
She usually does, so let's
hope. I hope you got Casper's credit card too.
Yeah, I did. A lot of fun.
Yeah, a lot of fun, she says.
Casper, so yeah, you can never have too many handbags and pairs of shoes. I know what I'm talking about. Anyway, let's not talk about this. This is about you. Now, seriously, I mean, you're number 2 in the world, Casper, and I know you're a very humble person and you don't like to talk yourself up, but this is pretty good, written on your business card if you have one. I mean, you must be so proud of yourself.
Of course, and I think I remember we had a talk when after I reached finals in Miami, and I had my career high of number 7, which was the same as yours, I remember. So
that's right, nice memory.
We were sort of laughing about it and discussing it, and it was tough for me to believe that I was going to be like top 3 or even higher than that at that point, because I felt like things had been going so well. I felt like the guys in front of me are the elite group of tennis that we have. So it wasn't that easy to sort of think in a realistic way that I would, be higher ranked than those I am higher ranked than now. Novak, Daniil, and Rafa. Those guys are guys that have done so well. Of course, Novak and Rafa for that many years, and then Daniil has been up there, number 2 and number 1 the last year. So it's tough to kind of think that I'm going to be above them at later this year, but I guess things have turned out well for me, and that they didn't have points for Wimbledon sort of helped me personally, like on my rankings, because I don't feel like I have too much points to sort of gather from Wimbledon. So it wasn't a big loss for me that they didn't play for points, but for other ones that did well, it's obviously a bigger loss for them. So yeah, things have been going my way, and then of course I had some good results, so it's just been going incredible. And yeah, it's something I can always sort of have next to my name, at least number 2. I'm of course aiming now for the last one. It's one more spot, but let's see if Carlos will be possible to catch in the coming time. But yeah, that's it has been going really well, so I'm so happy and excited about it. But at the same time, this is a sport that never sort of ends. The show goes on, and it goes on and on and on, and you can never sort of really stop. So we just have to continue and go for more.
Yeah, it seems like you're pretty good resetting your goals, because you have done it last time, when you were number 7 in the world, and look at you now, and there's, the sky is the limit, I guess. When we look back to the finals of the US Open, the way you played, how are you looking at the whole match now, that whole experience? Do you have regrets? Do you, when you look at it, do you feel proud? Do you feel like, oh my God, I should have done this or that? What goes through your head now when you think of those 3 hours you played there?
Yeah, I mean, obviously I didn't have the best start, as I lost the first set, so I'm proud of the way I sort of turned the match around a little bit and won the second set. I was able to break him a couple of times, and there were some incredible rallies here and there that went in my favor also. So I think it was a very exciting match to play, and I hope it was an exciting one to watch. I think we were both sort of running around there like guys really wanting this win and playing some fun rallies. And the only sort of regret or thing that I wish I could have done better is the tiebreak in the third set, which was just not great for me. I think I was too sort of not focused, but annoyed with myself that I didn't get one of those set points maybe at 6-5 there. And it's, I didn't feel like I could do much different, honestly. You can always say that you should have just hit a return winner or whatever, but Carlos, he hit 2 first serves in, and when you have a set point in a match like that, it's easy to sort of be a little bit careful and think, just put the ball in and see what happens, and then he can eat you alive, and that's what he did. He came into the net and played very aggressively. So that's of course a shame. I can always say, I wish he had framed the volley and I would have won the third set that way. But not honestly, I gave it my all and played a poor tiebreak. But I will try to learn from it, and I'm sure I will play Carlos many more times if we have good careers, both of us. And hopefully there will be more tiebreaks and more big matches. So let's see if I can learn a little bit from that, what I did wrong there.
Yeah, this could be a start of a big rivalry there, I think. And I do remember those 2 big first serves from Carlos Alcaraz, because we were sitting, Mats and Alex and I were sitting together, and we were like, now sometimes his serve can be a little bit dodgy, and then he hits 2 first serves at that moment. But I guess that's tennis. Now, when you return back to Norway, tell me what's been going on. I mean, how is your fame there in Norway? We know, there's biathlon, there's the winter sports and everything else, but how is it now?
Well, it was really fun because obviously the Monday after the final, my girlfriend Maria and I, we were invited to go to, first of all, a Vogue party in New York. Sort of Fashion Week started there, and we were invited, so that was a great time. I had never been to a fashion show or party before. It was the catwalk, and Serena opened the whole show. That was really fun and really cool. A big moment. And
he was wearing that silver outfit, weren't you?
Yeah, it was a powerful outfit and powerful moment. And then it was a really cool show, sort of inspired by New York and I guess sports in New York. It was some marathon runners running around, and it was a cool show. And then we jumped on the flight back home that same evening. We landed on Tuesday in Norway, and it was I had Davis Cup in that weekend in a city called Lillehammer, which is
I remember Lillehammer. You had the Winter Olympics there.
We had the Winter Olympics there in I hope I'm not wrong, but I think it's 94. I think it was 94. Yeah, it was before I was born. I believe it was 94. And there's also a TV show actually about Lillehammer. So it's a small city, very close to sort of mountains, and where kind of people have cabins and that they go for sort of mountain hiking and all these things. So, but it was exciting because I had, after last year, I wanted to gift myself something nice to break into the top 10. So as a boy in his 20s, a sports car was the best option in my eyes. So it was a sports car I had been dreaming about for many years. So
tell me, which one is it?
It was a Porsche 911. So it's, you know, every boy's dream. So I had been waiting for that for 9 months, and it finally arrived when I was in US Open. So when I arrived back home on Tuesday, I just dropped the bags at my apartment, and Maria, she was tired. She went to sleep, and I went straight up to the center and picked it up and had a nice ride. It's like 150 kilometers up to Lillehammer, so I had a nice first sort of drive up to the mountains with it, and it was an exciting week for me. It was something I had been waiting for because things takes time these days with COVID and everything. So, but it was worth the wait, I guess.
Yeah, I just ordered a car, not the Porsche 911, and it's going to take a year to get it. It's crazy. How fast can you go on the Norwegian highways?
110 kilometers per hour.
God, really? You need to go to Germany or somewhere where you can really go, 300 or something.
I try not to go faster, but I know the car can go faster if you really want to push it. But I have to be careful as well. I mean, I don't want to injure myself, first of all, and I don't want to lose my license. So I needed to go back and forth to practice.
Yeah, but nice to hear that you treated yourself to a lovely car. And I wanted to know, like, in your phone, before the US Open, I'm sure you had some really important phone numbers in there. After the finals of the US Open, or let's say from the beginning of the year to now, which one at the moment is the most important phone number, besides your girlfriends and your families, of the most famous person you have in your phone, you think?
It's funny you ask, because as we're in Laver Cup, we have this group chat on WhatsApp with the team.
You finally got Roger's?
And I finally got Roger's phone number. So that was today, actually. So it took took some time, but I have it now. So that was nice to get a message. He wrote us all a message, welcoming us. And he actually, you should feel honored, I think, Barbara, because he asked us out, the teammates, for dinner today at 9. And I said, I would love to go, but I have a podcast with Barbara.
No way. You're stupid, really. You should have gone out for dinner with those guys. Oh my God.
I have a dinner with them tomorrow and the day after.
Yes, you do have the official.
So it's fine. I prioritize you this time, Barbara. So
thank you. I really appreciate it. Does Roger still have the tiger, or what is it? The lion on the? Is that the one?
On the iPhone or on the phone? Or
on his phone, yeah.
I don't know. I saw him today at the site. He came and congratulated me. So with the recent results, so that was nice. And we talked a little bit, and it's going to be fun to be around him and all the other guys this week. So just getting a taste of hanging around with those the big four.
No, yeah, let's talk about the Laver Cup. I mean, what are you looking forward to the most, and what makes it so special to you to be part of it? This is the second time, isn't it, for you to be part of it?
Yeah, I think what was really fun, I mean, obviously playing myself was really fun, but just being on the bench and sort of motivating my teammates, which are also my idols, at the same time this year. It's going to be sort of strange to feel like I sort of give them anything if I can. I don't know if they feel like I give them anything, but at least supporting them from the bench. And I hope they're going to be excited. And it's, it's the best seats in the house, watching them up close and, sitting on the bench with the other players as well. It's fun. I mean, it's sort of one of few weeks that we get that team spirit and sort of, hanging out as a team. And I think for them also, I mean, they have played each other for 20-25 years, and to be together as a team playing against someone else for once is going to be fun for them, I hope.
Oh, I'm sure. I mean, the whole world is looking forward to this weekend. Do you think you would coach, or, like Novak or Rafa or Roger, give him some advice if you pick up on something, if they're in trouble? Would you go there and say, hey, Raj, you got to do this?
I don't think I'm going to tell Roger anything what he has to do, but some of the guys on the team world are pretty young and same generation as myself, so I might know something about them that maybe the other ones don't. I mean, I think probably Roger and those have played all the other guys as well, but probably played some of them more recently than what they did, but let's see. I mean, if they ask me, I'm happy to help, but I don't think I will be the first one to to coach the big four.
I'm gonna keep an eye on you. And when you're playing a singles match, and then you have obviously Bjorn sitting there, and then you have Roger, Rafa, Novak, you have Stefanos, you have Matteo there as well. I mean, who would you like to be coached from and given advice? It must be overwhelming to a certain degree as well, right? When they are standing behind you and they go like, "Oh, Casper, you do this and that." I mean,
yeah. I mean, when I played last year, I only played one match, and I played the first match of the whole tie. So, I don't think the players were that sort of nervous or into it yet. So I didn't really get that feeling from the bench like last year, because it wasn't life or death about this match, because it was the first point of the whole tie. I felt like it was the most important point, of course, but
it was. Every point is important.
Yes, of course, every point is important. But if I get to play a little bit, I don't know, not bigger match, but sort of for more points, or when it really gets tight, or if it's tighter this year, I'm sure also the bench will feel a little bit more anxious. And but with last year, we were dominating a bit too much almost. So it was like, okay, 1-0, 2-0, 3-0, 3-1. And then, it was like 5-1, 7-1, 9-1 after that. And we won 14-1. So it was like, but there were many close matches. And I think 5 matches went to a super tie break, which we won sort of all of them, I believe. So it was much closer than the final result was. So we were nervous, of course, and helping. But I'm sure that Team World wants some sort of revenge and try to do better than last year. And but I think we're gonna enjoy the home court this year. And having Roger as his last tournament, I think the crowd is gonna go wild for us. I hope so, at least.
Yeah, I'm sure. I think there's no doubt about it, because I've been fortunate enough to be in the last 4 Laver Cups, and it's always been going nuts. The atmosphere has always been amazing, and this is obviously this weekend is going to be phenomenal, extra special. Which brings us to our last topic, and that's Roger Federer. Now, Casper, when did you find out, or when did you hear first that he announced his retirement, and what did you feel? Do you remember?
Yeah, I was in the gym actually warming up for a practice session in Davis Cup. So I think I'll remember that for a long time, because you're shocked, and it's something that I think I've tried to prepare for, and knowing it will happen one day, but it's it's just gonna happen out of the blue. And he told me sort of today that he kept it very close, only to around his closest ones, and he made a decision, of course, with his nearest ones, but not many knew. And I think it was a bit of a shock for many, but he knows what's best for him. And I was, of course, sad, and sort of, I guess my sort of reaction was that I sort of freezed a little bit, like, whoa, this is so big, or such a big decision or announcement. So it was sad, but I think if you look at the facts, I mean, he's over 40 years old and has. I think the sort of rehab hasn't gone as well as he had hoped. So it was it's inevitable, sort of, that they will retire someday. But it was sad, and I remember I had just camera people waiting on the court, not for that, but as it happened, they stormed to the court and wanted a reaction from the Norwegian media. So it was a little bit like, whoa, I don't know even what to say. I mean, I can put so many great words about him, but it was tough to find the right ones. But he's so big, and more than just tennis. He's a great guy also.
Yeah, he certainly is. I can confirm that. So you think the other, like Rafa and Novak, they also didn't know, he didn't speak to them about it. It was really kept in his smallest circle of people, like his agent and his family, obviously, and no one else really.
I think so. I cannot say for sure, but I believe so. That's sort of what I felt when he told me today. But I mean, he needs to think about himself, not informing the other players about it. So this is a big decision, and probably the biggest one of his life. So I don't I know that all of the big four respect each other and are good friends. So, but I don't think they are that they consider each other the closest friends out there. But I don't know. I mean, I cannot speak for them, but I don't think they were informed no until he said it publicly. I'm not sure. You will have to ask him this week.
I will. Now, what is your first memory of Roger? I mean, Roger has been around all your life. He's been playing the tour for 24 years. I was lucky enough to play, I think, for 7 years alongside of him.
Together.
And what's your first memory? When did you first pop up in your life, Roger Federer?
I think it was him playing Rafa in Roland Garros in many finals in a row. And you always say that, Rafa is the greatest clay court player, which he is, of course. But I think everyone forgets that Roger has played like 7 finals in Roland Garros against him and sort of lost, or whatever, 6 or 7, or I can't even count anymore. But he's probably the second best clay court player ever, and because he made so many finals and just had that one guy who sort of beat him every time. Yeah. So I remember many finals and them, of course, competing against each other. Rafa would win at Roland Garros, and then Roger would beat him back at Wimbledon a couple of weeks later. So that was it is always an exciting swing of tournaments and swing of, weeks on the tour with Roland Garros and Wimbledon being close together. But I think like what stands out for me is when he won back-to-back Roland Garros and Wimbledon in 2009. Yes.
Correct, against Söderling and Roddick.
Right? And then that incredible match in Wimbledon with Roddick, I will remember forever. I watched the whole thing. So and that was sort of a revenge for what happened to him the year before, I guess, when he lost to Rafa like 9-7 or whatever in the 5th, and then winning, I don't know what it was, 15-13 or something in the 5th against Roddick. Must have tasted really good, I guess.
Yeah, no, it was. I remember that because it was unbelievable the way he played the French, and then, and also if you would have to pick one moment of Roger's tennis, matches he's played, which one would it be? Would it be the Wimbledon one you just mentioned in 2009, or which one would it be for you personally?
Yeah, for sure. I mean. More recently, I don't want to bring back, tough memories for him, but the final in 2019 as well with Novak is just incredible, the way they play. I mean, level of play, and of course, he's so close to winning and doesn't in the end. Huh?
2 match points he had.
Yes, 2 match points and with serve. So, I mean, I think the whole tennis world, except Novak and his biggest fans, were sort of heartbroken that day, the way he lost it. But the level of tennis was incredible, and I think he impressed and sort of not surprised, but impressed everyone that he was still moving so great at that age and challenging, Novak, who had won that Wimbledon so many times in a row at that time. So, of course, that's something that's going to sting and be tough for him the rest of his life, I guess. But I remember it was so exciting to watch everyone in tennis world and even beyond tennis world were watching that Wimbledon final. And then you have many other matches, of course, but there are some legendary matches. And I think one that also we can mention is Australian Open, when he comes back from a breakdown against Rafa in the 5th. So he's had his turnarounds as well. So it's funny with these 3 guys, they have sort of been back and forth so many times with each other. So some are a little bit more fortunate than others here and there, but they all sort of have a couple of matches on each other where they come back or are coming back from behind and winning. So that final, I guess, tasted really good when he beat Rafa there from being a breakdown in the 5th.
Yeah, no,
playing some incredible rallies and just winners, and
they've just had an amazing rivalry, the 3 of them, and then you throw also Andy Murray in the mix, which is just unbelievable. But you had a chance to play against Roger. I mean, that must have, that now that he's retired, there must be so nice to know you didn't win, you didn't beat him at the French Open, it was, I think. But how was that experience, playing against him, the way he played, the game style he played, the way he was on the court? Were you a bit shell-shocked maybe playing against him?
Yeah, it was tough. And, that's, if you ask him what his biggest match was, I'm very sure that it's not against me in Roland Garros. But it was sort of fun because I think it was something that he played his 400 Grand Slam match or something when I played him, which just shows like how great he has been and how many matches he has won and everything. So it was something there with some number. But yeah, he was just sort of was sort of surprising because he hadn't played on clay in some years. He had skipped
Knocking on your door.
Yeah, another knock. I think it's some dinner here, but
I want to have dinner too.
yeah, no, sorry. I mean, he didn't play clay for a couple of years. I think 2018 and 19 that much, and then he played Roland Garros, and he played so well on the clay, and he sort of came up with shots that I didn't even know existed, like in the tennis shot book. And he sort of always had me on my toes. I could never sort of read where the next shot would come. He would hit, backhands from up here down the line, where you typically, go just heavy cross back, or and he would come to the net, do serve and volleys and everything. So he would just put me off always and never give me any rhythm. So yeah, I felt like he was toying with me a little bit here and there, which was obviously not nice, but it was just an incredible moment. And I did have a couple set points, I think, in the third set, which didn't go my way. But all in all, it was one of my biggest memories on the court. And at that time as well, I had sort of broken into the top 100 a couple of months before, and reached the third round for the first time there. So it was an incredible moment and tournament for me.
The beginning of a big career. Now, did you have a poster of Roger Federer in your room when you were growing up, maybe?
It was honestly more Rafa for me out of the two. So I did have a Rafa calendar, like a yearly calendar, which I just redid and didn't understand that, January 5th is not going to be a Wednesday this year, when we started over, even though it says it was for 2 years ago, it's not going to be it on the third year. So I had some, but yeah, I mean, it was funny because I had my best friend from the childhood was like me, but with Roger, like all Roger, and I was more like Rafa. So we were always watching those matches against each other, or when they played together, and we were sort of arguing and watching them together. It was really fun. So, but as I grow older, I mean, it's impossible to dislike any of those, and you just have to admire them both. And he has, like I said, he has played shots that no one ever knew existed in tennis, and he can do incredible things with the ball. So it's been inspiring, even though, like I said, it was more Rafa for me. But at the same time, I have grown to understand how big of an impact Roger has had on myself and all other people around the world.
And it's never too late to put up, you don't have to put up a poster, but you can put up a photo, maybe a group photo from the Laver Cup or something like that.
Yeah, I think we will need to do something memorable here this week. And
totally. Yeah. And just one more, actually two more questions before I let you go. The locker rooms, what do they talk? What do you guys talk in the locker rooms about Roger? I mean, he's a fun guy, isn't he? That fans actually don't know that he cracks jokes all the time.
Yeah, he's a very fun and
in the sense of having a lot of humor.
Yeah, smiling and laughing always. So he's always has a smile on his face, which is fun, and very easy to talk to, easygoing guy. And I don't know him that well personally, but just today it's nice he comes up, and he doesn't need to come and congratulate me on the court. He probably has a million other things to do, but he does it because he cares, and
gets out of his way, doesn't he? And he always has time for you.
Very elegant and classy, and gentleman. So many words to describe him as a great person. But yeah, he has jokes, and he's a fun guy. But in the locker room, he probably he knows, of course, his generation of players better than the younger ones. But he has always, I think, enjoyed inviting like juniors to practice and all these things. Like if you're doing well as a junior, he takes you to practice in the Grand Slams and stuff. But one thing I can say for sure is whenever he enters the locker room or the player lounge or whatever, he has that sort of aura around him, or aura, or what you say. So everyone just turns silent, and you just feel like Roger is there, even though he doesn't say a word. So it's incredible.
Yeah, and he's one guy. When I do an interview with him, I do get a little bit nervous. It's really weird. I don't know. He has his thing. Okay, now I have to ask you, what's for dinner, because you just had some room service. What is it going to be tonight?
Dinner is I think one vegan burger for my girlfriend. Good. And I went for a pizza with Parma ham and some chicken wings.
Oh wow, okay, I might go for the vegan burger. I need to order something as well. And last but not least, I got this present here And I was wondering if you got that too. You know, I got a jumper, and then I think I got some shoes, some Roger
Oh,
shoes.
nice! You have more gifts than me. I have some tea and some stuff here, and
Tea?
yeah, tea and sparkling tea. I got a bag. It's
Show me.
yes, I'll show you. It's looks like a champagne, but it's not. If you read closely, it says sparkling tea. But
Oh, how
not so
boring.
sure. I will need to taste. I thought tea needed to be hot, but I guess iced tea you don't need it. You don't need to drink it.
There's this thing called iced tea as well.
Yeah, I forgot. But I know the British, they love their tea, so I guess that's suiting here.
All right, I'm gonna let you go. Thank you so much for taking the time. I'll see you around the next few days, and enjoy this special weekend. It's gonna be epic and something I think we'll not forget ever.
For sure. Thank you, Barbara. I will enjoy, and we'll talk to you soon around in the O2 Arena.
Yeah, sounds great.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right.
Bye.
Bye. Thanks for now. Thanks for the episode.
Six